Here's the time Stewie shot Brian in the foot.
Oh, damn it! Oh my God, that hurts!
And here's the time Brian got mauled by gorillas.
So you've all read my book? They had read my book, they just didn't like it.
As y'all can see, Brian's quite the regular at the Quahog vet, and that's why today I'm going to be going through some of his worst injuries to see how much Brian's vet bills would cost, cranking up the bills until we break the bank. Starting with the time Brian got into a fight with who else but Quagmire. That's all thanks to Brian taking a shine to Glenn's dad.
You know, we are in a hotel.
And I'm in room 406.
To be fair to Brian, he didn't know Ida was Quagmire's dad, or that she used to be a dude. When Glenn finds out Brian's done the deed with his dad, he is not happy.
Get out of there, you dirty little bastard! You're dead!
Quagmire is going to town on him, a bit like Brian did to his dad.
If I ever see you anywhere near my house, I'll blow your head off! Now lay there and die, you piece of crap!
After getting the snot beaten out of you, normally you just shut your mouth and lick your wounds. Not Brian, though.
Your dad.
Jeez, Brian, no wonder people can't stop pummeling you. Quagmire's fight is fairly minimal, luckily for Brian, so he'd only need a regular consult. Some pain meds, maybe cleaning of some wounds. We'll price that up at $285. If you thought the first entry stunk, then just you wait, because Brian's sunray soak session is rudely interrupted when a skunk stops by.
This is actually very pleasant. Hey, who the hell knocked over the garbage can? Whoa. Hey, I don't want any trouble.
He's about to get into some trouble, though. The skunk refuses to clean up his mess and ends up doing this.
Can you at least clean this stuff up when you're done? Otherwise, it's gonna start to smell.
Oh, you don't like smell, huh? Well, sniff on this. Yeah, you got that stink all up on you now.
If you guys didn't know, skunk spray is super irritant. Getting that in your eyes stings like all hell and can cause temporary blindness, which explains why Brian is a total mess after getting blasted with the stinky stuff.
Oh my God, what is that smell? It's like a burning tire dump right in my nose.
It's not like Chris and Stewie are much help.
Oh, I can't see! I'm blind!
Yeah, why go to the vet when you can treat the skunk spray with a punch and some vomit? Brian doesn't actually go to the vet, he just deals with the smell and bathes in tomato juice, but it doesn't work.
I don't know what else to do.
I do. Until the smell wears off, you're staying outside.
Lois, I'm an inside dog.
See, Lois, if you want to get rid of the smell and, save Brian's eyes, you're gonna want to take him to the vet. They'll do a little eye exam, flush his eyes out, give you drops to put in them 3 times a day, including consultation fees. Brian's stink problem would only set the Griffin's back 400 bones. Now, the next time Brian takes a trip to the vet sounds way worse than it actually is, and that's the time he got into a full-blown car crash. He was trying to send Stewie to sleep with one of his boring political radio shows, but it's so boring it put him to sleep too, behind the wheel.
Hip-hop has its roots in the Black Baptist Church.
I don't know how, but the guys get off lightly. They have a few cuts and bruises, and Brian has a potential sprained arm.
Is the lady who owns the Prius here?
Actually, that's me.
Oh, well, your wife's car is totaled.
It's my car.
Sorry. We were, however, able to save your purse.
See, they're fine. I'm not sure Brian would need an emergency consult, but let's stay on the safe side here and say he'll need a body scan to make sure there's no internal bleeding. That'll cost him $450. But after that, it's just pain meds he'll need and the consultation fee, which together would be about $200. So all in all, a $600 trip to the vet, which is a darn bit better than the car that's been totaled. We're back in a fight mode now. Quagmire's to be expected. He hates Brian, but his next fight is with someone he calls his best friend. As we know, Brian has the hots for Lois, and in season 6, he can't control himself anymore.
Oh my God, Brian, no! What are you doing?
I can't help myself, Lois. I know you're married to Peter, but I love you and I can't stand it anymore.
Brian, no! Get down! Get down! This is a good sweater!
At the very least, dude, did you have to assault her? Lois has no choice but to tell Peter what's happened, and he's not happy.
Well, I mean, all the dry food I bought for you over the years? You don't deserve her. She does nothing but give and give and give, and you repay her with selfishness and neglect.
The back and forth argument breaks out into an all-out brawl. Man, if anything, this makes me think Quagmire went easy on him. Yeah, I'll be adding glass removal to the bill. Despite the violence of the fight, no one wins and the boys see reason.
I'm sorry, all right? When you have feelings for someone that are strong enough, you just, I don't know, lose sight of the rest of the world.
This fight with Peter is a little more complex than Quagmire's due to the glass. Some of those chunks are big and the wounds will need stitches, plus I'll have to have everything he had with Quagmire, so I'd have this bill right around the $650 mark. And these fights show no sign of stopping, because I got another whole world of hurt coming up for Brian now, and it's actually one that involves Brian's writing hero, Mark Twain. With the help of Stewie, he goes back into the past and brings Mark into the future to help him write a book, but Mark has other things on his mind.
Find a job you enjoy doing, and you will never work a day in your life. And my job is looking at oily bazoombas.
I brought you here to help me write a great novel, not...
Things start to get out of hand when Mark demands that Brian hand over his phone so he can paddle his wheel, if you get me. But Brian doesn't want another dude holding his phone and, you know...
All I need in this world is a phone and a place to stand. Give me your phone.
Brian won't budge though, and that pushes Twain off the deep end. He needs to get his fix.
Absolutely not. The Mark Twain I know is better than this.
Then you've left me no choice. My model egg sandwich to show everyone what an egg sandwich looks like.
Imagine getting dunked on that hard by your hero. Actually, maybe it'd be cool to get third-degree burns from Mark Twain. I mean, I don't want to try, but it sounds cool. So far, we've seen Brian get beaten up by his enemy, his best friend, and his hero. The run-in with Mark Twain is even more complex due to the burns of Brian's face. Specialized gels, creams, and bandages be needed, plus some stronger pain meds. So that brings the cost of the fight to $115. Chris is about to get some payback on Brian now for getting that stink all up in his face earlier, with a chair shot. It's not about payback for Chris, to be fair. He just wants to see a girl who works there.
Is there any more coffee?
Anna, I'm here with my dog. He's not feeling well.
You.
Couldn't have said it better, Brian. Even though his dog is black and blue with splinters sticking out of his head, all Chris cares about is the stupid girl.
I get off at 4. I might just be up for a movie.
Okay, somebody really needs to help me here.
As bad as this looks, it's mostly superficial, luckily. We're gonna have him sent in for a brain scan, though. Falling like that after a hit to the head is not good. That'll be $350 alone. Then there's wound care at $150, the removal of the splinters another $100, pain meds at $175, and the consultation fee of just $75. So all in all, Chris's attempt at reigniting his love life has cost Brian $850 and a whole pint of blood. Now that sounds like a lot, and it is. Vets are expensive as hell. So imagine if Brian had an actual problem, like say, with his liver. We all know Brian likes the drink, but his little dog liver can't keep up. And in once bitten, his drinking habits finally catch up to him.
Is everyone warm in here? Is it warm?
Brian, are you feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. It just seems kind of... Oh, Lois, your dog threw up.
Obviously, Brian is seriously under the weather, so the Griffins take him to the vet.
Brian, your blood work shows that your liver isn't functioning properly. Would you happen to be a drinker?
Well, I don't know if I'd label myself a drinker. I know I like a cold beer after I mow the lawn.
Come on, Brian, man, you gotta tell him the truth. He's only trying to help. The doc gives him some special pills that'll fix his liver, but there's one problem. The pills have to be taken the butt way.
Fortunately, they only come in suppository form. It means they have to be inserted into the patient's anus.
And if you know Brian, he hates the butt way. So Peter's got a lot on his plate with trying to get him to take his meds.
Get away from my ass. Brian, no!
Guess I'm just gonna have to take him by surprise.
He's already skittish, Peter. I don't think jamming them up there when he's not looking is gonna help. But when did Peter listen to anyone?
Nice to watch TV when you have nothing else to do, isn't it?
Get over here, you idiot! Peter, what the hell?
I'm still in charge of you!
Stop it!
This is for your benefit, so just go limp it!
Ah!
What the hell? You bit me!
Nice job, Petey. You're already forking out a load of money to Brian's vet bills. Now you gotta pay to send yourself to the ER. Speaking of the bill, though, what would it cost? Well, it's not just the pills. Brian most likely had blood work and liver scans done. They'd cost around $150 and $650 alone. Then you got about a $70 consultation fee and the pills themselves, which would be somewhere in the region of $100. So Brian's liver has eaten through $970 of Peter's hard-earned cash. You could argue that Brian's liver problems are self-inflicted, but he takes that to a whole new level in the episode Seahorse Seashell Party. You know, the episode where he decides taking shrooms would be a good idea?
These are mushrooms. It's a psychedelic drug. Makes you see weird things and feel happy for a few hours. I figure we're gonna be stuck inside for a while with a storm, so...
He's not playing around. Brian pops open the bag and takes a handful of the goods and waits for them to work, and boy do they. While he's tripping, Brian gets up and goes to the bathroom. After he's been gone a while, Stewie follows him and finds out that Brian has maybe overdosed on the shrooms.
I'm gonna cut my ear off to prevent World War II. Ah! Oh, God!
Note to self, never try shrooms. While the big guy's passed out, Stewie does what he can to patch up his friend until they can get him to a vet. When Brian finally comes back around, he's tripping even harder than before.
Do you like my soothing voice?
Do you like my soothing voice?
Honestly, his trip has barely started. I mean, take a look at what the fun guy does to him. He eventually comes back to the land of the living. He hasn't got a clue where he is.
Stewie. Stewie?
Yeah, I'm right here. Oh my god, your lip looks really weird. Can we fix that? Get that out of there. Ew.
Other than being a bit thirsty, the drugs haven't done too much damage. But those scissors, on the other hand, Brian's ear is in rough shape and will need to be operated on immediately to be saved. He'd have an emergency consultation, which is $300. It'd be local anesthesia, which is $400. Pain meds, which are about $75. And then the surgery itself, which is around, $2,000. So all in all, his trip that ended in a snip would cost Brian $2,775. If you think that was bad, then just you wait, because Brian's had more than just his ear chopped off. His poor old tail is also a victim, although he didn't cut it off this time because Stewie makes an evil clone to do it for him. The clone starts small though, you know, a little introductory beating. You batteries up the nose never hurt anyone, but you know what did? A super sharp knife. Ouch, that's gotta sting. Imagine some lemon juice getting that sucker. Anyway, the clone causes havoc and the boys track him down, but there's one problem. Real Stewie and evil Stewie get mixed up and Brian's gotta pick which one is which. Does he pick right?
And I'm really glad I didn't kill the wrong Stewie.
Yeah, me too. Come on, I'll take you home.
Well, I can't help you there, Brian, but I can tell you how much this would probably cost. It's the same pricing for the emergency consultation, the anesthesia, and the pain meds as we had earlier, so that's $775. But this is a slightly more complex surgery and would set Brian back another $3,000 on top, so that's $3,775. We're not done with the tale of his tail, though, because there's another time he had a problem with his fifth limb, around the time he got himself a new girlfriend who's a little different from the rest.
So, you sure you don't need me to come in? Maybe show you to your bed?
Pretty sure I can find it. Thanks. Maybe next time I'll have trouble, though.
See what I mean? It's probably a poor choice of words, actually. Anyway, Brian sees past her blindness, but isn't exactly honest with her because...
Our stupid neighbor's dog barks 24/7. God, I hate dogs.
You do?
Yeah, they're just slobbery, annoying, needy little bastards.
Now, yeah, that checks out. Obviously, this isn't what Brian would like to hear, and instead of doing the decent thing of breaking up with her, he lies.
Brian, you never told me you had a beard. I love beards.
Yeah, no, hey, I'm bearding it up over here.
Yep. Instead of telling her he's a dog, he just pretends he's a mad, hairy dude. For a while it works, but when Kate asks if he'll meet her parents, Brian knows the jig is up. That is until Stewie steps in.
Hi, you must be Kate. I'm Brian's nurse. He's had a little accident, I'm afraid.
Brian, are you okay?
Oh, don't worry, I'm fine. I'm just sort of bandaged up right now.
You must be Kate's parents. It's so nice to meet you.
Oh yeah, the textbook bandage yourself up trick. Why didn't I think of that? You see though, when you're a dog, there's kind of one thing you can't bandage up to make yourself look human, and that's a tail. Don't worry though, Stewie's got the answer for that too.
Stop wagging your tail.
Help it, do something. I meant hold it, not cut it off.
You weren't specific. I've never done this before.
There's nothing like sitting, eating dinner, and slowly bleeding out. If only there was a nurse nearby to help.
The hell are you cauterizing your tail? Trust me, I'm a nurse.
What's going on over there?
I think they burned our dinner.
Brian's had enough of Stewie cutting him to pieces like some science fair project, and he starts barking, which isn't what humans typically do.
There's a dog in here.
Yes, okay? There's a dog in here. I'm a dog.
Brian has no choice but to come clean to Kate and let her see him for who he is. Dang, I did it again.
I could have gotten over the fact that you're a dog because I really do care about you. And I feel like we had a connection. But I can't get over the fact that you lied to me. You screwed up, Brian. And now you're gonna have to watch me walk out that door.
Let's get back to Brian's tail though. We saw earlier this procedure would cost about $3,775, but it's even more complicated thanks to Stewie cauterizing the wound. Basically, without getting all too medical on you, you need open blood vessels to reattach a limb, and Stewie basically fried them shut. So that'll set Brian back another $440, bringing the surgery cost to $4,215 and Brian's final tail total to a pretty big $7,590. Honestly, just throw the thing away at that rate. Well, Brian, we're only halfway through, and you've managed to rack up an eye-watering $50,705. We're only just scraping the surface, though, because coming up next are some of Brian's worst and most costly vet trips to date. You'd expect this next entry to be a bit lower considering how serious it is, because we're about to talk about the time Brian died. He was getting ready to play hockey with Stewie when a speeding car races around the corner.
Brian, look out! No, Brian!
He's taken to the vet and is sent straight into surgery, but it's no use. The vet puts him on life support in the ICU so the family can say goodbye to him.
You've given me a wonderful life. I love you all.
I'm sorry. He's gone.
Sad as it is, don't worry. Brian's brought back into the fray a few episodes later when Stewie travels back into the past to save him.
Brian, look out!
What the hell?
You're alive, my friend!
Of course I'm alive. What the hell's going on here?
That car killed you.
Might wish he stayed dead when he sees the bill I'm about to write up, though. The good news for Brian, his death probably saved him a bit of the cash, mainly because the surgery was impossible to complete, and he ended up dying, so no tests, no pain meds, no prolonged hospital stays. Still, though, he did wind up in the ICU and made it on the operating table, so the Griffins would still be charged about $8,000. Not being a dog put a hole in Brian's pocket in an earlier entry, but being a dog is what's going to cause him some financial pain next, because Brian is super protective of his favorite rope toy.
Sometimes I just bite it like this.
Rope! That's stupid. I want it.
Well, you can't have it. It's mine.
Oh, yeah? Not for long, it ain't.
As you can see, though, Peter wants to turn to play, and instead of waiting, he grabs the toy when Brian isn't looking by tying it to his car and driving off.
Come on, Brian, you better let go.
Told you, this is mine. You're never gonna get it.
I know you're strong and all, Brian, but you can't exactly outmuscle a motor vehicle. You couldn't tell both these guys are psychopaths, but only one of them is going to pay the price.
My teeth!
Not his pearly whites. In all realness, though, every time I watch that, I cringe. Without his teeth, Brian's not only lost his smile, he's lost his whole personality. Let's just say he isn't taken to the gum look very well.
Oh, who am I kidding? You gotta take me to the dentist to get my mouth fixed.
Brian, we can try to make you feel a little less repulsive. We're not spending human money on a deformed animal.
Pretty cold, Lois, even for you. Just like his gums, Brian can't possibly sink any lower. He ends up at the clam crying over his situation.
Oh, come on, Brian. Don't do that. Don't cry. Be a man.
That's easy for you to say, Glenn. You got a mouthful of teeth and the money to pay for them. Actually, Quagmire's so well in with his dentist that he figures he could swing a deal for Brian.
Here, just take this.
What is this?
That's my dentist. He'll bill me. I've got an account.
You got an account with a dentist?
He sells me nitrous at wholesale. I bang his wife.
Brian has no choice but to take Quagmire up on his offer, and it works. He sure does get his teeth back, but not exactly like the old ones.
Huh? You guys hate him.
No, Brian, are you kidding? You look like a movie star.
Really?
Yeah, you're like an even more handsome Adam Carolla.
God, I can't believe you guys really like him.
Oh no, is Quagmire's dentist Sarah Jessica Parker's his dentist? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Brian's got his shine back and he takes up a job being a real estate agent. He's pretty good at it, but he ends up rubbing Quagmire the wrong way, and guess he's got to pay for himself now. And boy, is it not cheap. It's not an emergency, so Brian would just have the regular $75 consultation fee, but he'll need heaps of x-rays and anesthesia. I think that'll come to about $1,100 before he's even had his surgery. The surgery itself will probably be another $4,000 for the vet to remove bits of rogue tooth, do a few bone grafts, etc. Then a set of prosthetics will need to be made, which from my research would be about $8,750. So all in all, Brian would need to fork out a total of $13,925 to save his teeth. That's more expensive than dying. The next trip on our list is all thanks to the time Brian catches the stupid bug.
Oh man, I am buzzing hardcore off of that chaw, man.
Brian, what the deuce?
Deuce, like poo.
Yes, deuce like poo. But what the devil has happened to you?
After failing a test, Brian's decided he's going to embrace the dumb way, but he seems a little too open to it.
Oh man, I've never felt better, beef stew. Bazinga!
Like what the gay scientist says.
Clearly, though, something ain't right upstairs, and it's not long before the family realize Brian's more than a little dense.
Ah, gross. He's getting his nose period.
They have no choice but to take him to the hospital to get looked at from head to toe.
Brian, the good news is we've stopped the bleeding, and we've removed the matchbox car that was lodged in your rectum.
I did that right after you passed out.
Ah, classic P-Dog.
He has a CAT scan, and it turns out Brian has a tumor. It's been pressing against his brain, and that's what's causing him to be so insufferable. But how aggressive is the tumor, and is it cancerous?
Benign. It says benign.
Oh, Brian, that's wonderful news. You're going to be okay.
Winning. Remember somebody said that?
Okay, it'll just be a routine surgery to pop that troublesome tumor out. Although Brian isn't exactly in a hurry to go back to being highbrow, he's more highbrow nowadays.
Oh, cool. My friend Pete is here. Pete-za. Nom, 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 nom. Over here, bro.
Stewie realizes if he wants the old Brian back, he's gonna fight Stupid with Stupid to lure him into the operating theater.
Hey, Brian, you want to go see Dr. Hartman and get that procedure where you get 2 wieners?
Hell yeah. That way when I watch Black Swan, I can aim one at Natalie Portman.
Yes. We all know who the other one was. Let's go.
Works a treat, he goes under the knife, and when Brian wakes up, he's back to his old pretentious self.
I feel like the main character of As I Lay Dying.
Oh, that's just the amount of superficial quasi-knowledge the old Brian had. I missed you, buddy. Welcome back.
Thanks, Stewie.
Might be back and all, but this was not a cheap procedure. I know, they went to a human hospital, but it's Family Guy after all. The continuity isn't the best. So just for argument's sake, I'm going to pretend that this was all done at the vets. Hartman spoke about a CAT scan. Those things usually cost about $3,500 a pop, plus there was a small surgery to remove a toy car from Brian's special place, which adds another $1,000 to the total. Then you've got the surgery fee, including anesthesia, craniotomy, and a few days of hospitalization, which totals out at about $14,350. Then you got the emergency fee of $300 to add on too. So all in all, Brian's tumor would burn a $20,150 sized hole in his bank balance. You know what's probably causing that tumor? All these fights Brian finds himself in, and we saved his best fight for last, with the one person who's hurt him more than anyone. Stewie. It's not necessarily a fight, but the first instance I want to look at where Stewie sent Brian to the vet came from the time Brian got a brand new pair of specs.
It's just that when you've read as many books as I have, it takes a toll, you know?
You sure it's not from watching too much close-up on your phone?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they have that now.
He thought Brian was a pseudo-intellectual before, then he becomes a whole different level of insufferable after getting his glasses.
Still sticking with the glasses, huh?
Oh, right, I have glasses. They're such a part of me now, I forgot all about them.
You're gross.
This shtick gets old pretty fast, and Stewie realizes he's got to take matters into his own hands, although I'm not sure I'd do the same.
Hey, Bri?
Yeah?
There's glass in my eye!
Golly goober, I thought Brian having a few hunks of glass in his skin from Peter was bad. Somehow, though, this isn't the only time Stewie has smashed glass in Brian's face. The other time came from season 4 when the mutt was struggling for money and refused to pay back his debt to Stewie.
Oh, that's funny. I could have sworn I said have it today.
Yeah, I don't have it, sorry.
Oh, well, all right then.
He doesn't just leave it there either. He ramps it up and starts kicking the ever-living daylights out of the poor dog.
That's what happens, man. Where's my money? You gonna give me my money?
Stupidly, though, Bri does not take his beating seriously and still don't cough up. So Stewie has to take things further.
Getting real tired of you ducking me, man.
And he's really teeing off on Brian. Sorry, guys, I had to. I know it was below par. A bit like what Stewie does to Brian next.
You got money to pay for fake mustaches, huh? How much you pay for that fake mustache?
$2.99.
He's been beaten to a pulp, and both of his legs have been turned into Swiss cheese. Well, how about we melt that cheese?
Oh my God! All right, let's go to the bank.
You're telling me it took Brian being turned into a canine s'more for him to pay up? Man, he rivals Carter for being a tightwad. Gotta respect it, though. Stewie's baseball bat to the face would need full-blown surgery to remove any wrong move, and it could blind Brian, so there'd be hospitalization fees, the surgery fees, pain meds, all of which total to around $1,430. But the most expensive fight by far is the big money-fueled beatdown Stewie hands out to him. You gotta combine the cost of the last visit with a longer stay, because he's got 2 gunshot wounds that cost a combined $7,800 to care for. Then you got the blunt force trauma he suffered to come out at another $2,000, and the full-body third-degree burns that'll need him to stay in the ICU for quite a while. That alone being 18,750 schmackaroonies, and that's just if he stays a week. The total damage done to Brian's bank account for not paying Stewie is $29,980. But we're not quite done. It wouldn't be Family Guy if there weren't some freak accidents from time to time. I mean, Peter impaled himself on the Eiffel Tower, for crying out loud. The same freak accidents have happened to Brian, like the time he got mauled by wolves.
You read Faster Than the Speed of Love?
I sure did, and thanks for saying the title.
Well, maybe I will come in for a Macallan.
He didn't read my book.
His skin might be clinging onto his bones for dear life, but the guy can walk, right? Brian's mauling injuries will not be easy to fix. He's got an eye that needs to be reattached, he'll need multiple skin grafts, probably a couple week-long hospital stays, blood transfusions, you name it, he needs it. I reckon it'll cost him around $33,650 all in all. It probably feels on the cheap side, but you gotta remember he did walk out of there, which is a lot more that can be said for what happens when he ironically gets into running. Like, he gets so obsessed with it that he turns into one big calf muscle.
Oh my God!
Hey, could you close the gate? Couple of calves got loose.
Ryan, you're all sinewy. Your whole body looks like Paul McCartney's neck.
I mean, I'm all for being healthy, but whatever that is not healthy. Brian doesn't stop his obsession. In fact, he doubles down, signing himself up for a marathon. A marathon his legs cannot take.
Ah! Oh, my leg! Help me, somebody! Brian, why does everything you touch turn to garbage?
I can't tell you guys how uncomfortable that clip makes me. The noise of the bone snapping is just absolutely disgusting. His running obsession, which ends up with an almost severed leg and serious internal bleeding and blunt force trauma, will not be cheap either. There's bound to be punctured lungs, lacerations to the liver, neck and spine issues. It's probably not as life-threatening as the first, but he'd have to stay in the hospital longer and have more tests done. So by my calculations, he'd need $51,325 to cover the bill here. Anyway, there's more discuss coming up now, and this time it's courtesy from the time Brian thought he was a cat.
If I weren't a cat, would I be obsessed with this scratch post?
That's not a scratch post, that's Meg's leg.
Don't stop!
I might have to add therapy onto his bill after that one. Anyway, Brian thinks he's a cat, and if there's one cat expert in Quahog, it's Quagmire, and he's not convinced.
I don't care what you did to convince yourself that you're a cat. You are not a cat, Brian.
I think my genetic makeup would disagree.
Prove it by jumping off your roof. If you land on your feet, safe and sound, I'll agree that you're a cat.
He's so convinced that he's a cat, he thinks he can pull off Glenn's challenge and, well, I guess curiosity killed the cat. Or in this case, cripples the dog.
Not a cat.
Guess gravity answered that question. Brian's feline fun ends up with him on the end of a quadruple compound fracture with severe blood loss. It's more or less the same risks as the last, but with an even longer stay in the hospital due to the fact that 4 limbs could be lost. So I'd put this treatment's price at right around the $72,175 mark. But that's not the most expensive trip to the vet that Brian has ever taken. Well, I'm maybe being a bit generous, but you'll see what I mean. Basically, Stewie has to kill a cat called Miss Tiggy Winkles to keep his end of a bargain up, so he bribes Brian to get the job done.
Okay, you go in there, kill Miss T, and we'll sneak out the back.
She's a cat. I'm a dog. I'm good.
Oh, don't be so cocky, Brian. Although, to be fair, if I was a betting man, I'd be backing up Brian anyway.
It went poorly.
And apparently I'd have lost all my money. Now, the reason I said I'm being generous is, obviously, if this actually happened, Brian would just be a goner. And sure, it might cost a few thousand, but it'd be nowhere near the most expensive vet bill. However, considering he survives, let's say he somehow makes it to a vet, is surgically put back together, spends months in the hospital, is given blood transfusions, meds out the wazoo, you name it, he's got it. Honestly, he needs so much work done, I could be here listing it for hours, but the surgeries alone would take it into the $100,000 range. So, when you combine all of the above with scans, blood work, how long he stays in the hospital, by my calculations, this would cost Brian about $277,980, which somehow kind of seems cheap if it's saving his life. And with that, we could put all of his vet visits together and find the final number for how much his bills would cost, which would be an astounding grand total of $557,890. That might not sound like a lot, but the average lifetime cost of a dog is just under $19K. That includes food, treats, toys, not just vet bills. So Brian is one expensive pooch. If you guys enjoyed taking a look at Brian's medical history, then why not give the video on screen a click right about now? I know it's right up your street. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all on over there.